Hello everybody, my name is Ord and welcome back to Ord Narrations. Toxic traits often happen in kind of dodgy or unstable relationships, and they can cause a lot of harm. They're often done in response to some kind of stimuli. Today we're going to be reading a story about how OP thinks he's absorbed his partner's toxic traits, and this can definitely happen. You know, if someone's shouting at you, let's say you're quite a quiet person and someone's shouting at you every day in and out, there's going to be a certain point where you shout back just to get them to stop. And what happens is you learn, not consciously, that that works, and it becomes then easier. The threshold that you have to pass to cause that action gets lower, meaning you shout more because it stops the argument. It's very difficult to break this habit. It's tricky. So, they write, so my 20M and my girlfriend 19F have been together for almost 2 years now. She's had a shit past, having grown up in a hostile home environment, and had a really toxic past relationship. I also grew up with unstable relationships with my parents, and my past relationship was me being stepped on by my ex, basically. Even though all of this, I was never jealous nor controlling, because I always had a really well-formed concept of what it is to be a person with a past. Even though we are in a relationship and we share a lot of things, we are still two individuals. My partner is extremely jealous, to the point that if I talk with another girl, not flirt, I'm not a cheater, then there'll be drama. She gets mad at me if I'm late for something, even though she makes me wait a lot of the time, and I always try and be on time for things. The point of this is not stating what she does is that it's toxic, because everybody makes mistakes, but it started to be enough for me, so I started slowly giving her a taste of her own venom. This was probably subconscious, but it's good that you've recognized that you've done it. For instance, sometimes she gets mad at small things and stonewalls me, or just ignores me. In the first year, I try and talk to her calmly to the point where I would apologize for things I didn't have to, or for things that I couldn't control, or stop talking to people just because she didn't like them. But I started realizing that the more of that I did, the more she would ignore me or make me run after her. And sometime I started doing this naturally, like giving her shitty answers when she was starting an argument, or just having attitudes like she did when I got a bad vibe from any guy that she would talk to. And now she puts all the blame on me and says that I wasn't like this, and that I no longer love her, nor want to be with her. Guys, what do I do? Breaking up is going through my mind because it's bad enough for one of us to be toxic. If both are, then it's even more fucked. TLDR, I might have started having some similar toxic traits as my girlfriend. You and your partner will mirror each other. There's that stereotype of elderly couples kind of being the same person, and it's because they've spent so long together, copying each other's behaviors and thought patterns and talking about stuff and kind of synchronizing, I guess. When you or your partner has toxic traits that come up a lot, the partner will mirror those by accident. Like I said, it's all subconscious, be it a defensive manner or an offensive manner, whatever. And it's really difficult to spot that you've started doing it. Right, so let's read some of the comments. Someone says, relationships should bring out the best in each other. You guys are only 2 years in, and you already feel like you're becoming a worse person because of this relationship. If she wants to try and change, that is one thing. But does she? Someone replied with, damn, that was a really good answer. Quite an eye-opener, as she gets better for a couple weeks, and then everything starts going badly again. Someone made another comment saying, I don't know who's getting whose toxic traits, but you're too young to be trying to stick it out in this kind of relationship. Trust me, I've been there. You're young, you think this person is everything, but you don't have enough perspective to know that it just isn't supposed to be like this. You should be having fun, meeting people, figuring out what you like and don't like, not wearily trudging through mutual bitterness like a pair of 60-year-olds who are just keeping together for the kids. This isn't how it's supposed to be. OP replies with, thank you for the advice. This is something that's been going through my mind for the last few months. Saying, should I be doing something else? Is this really worth the headache? But I'm afraid of what she'll do, because she's tried unaliving more than once before me, and we came abroad to study, so we basically have no one else. Keep in mind that things have been like this since before we came here, though. Ooh, that does add a spanner in the works there. Well, to try and remedy this somewhat, it could be worth you and her trying to join a society or a club of some kind. And then once she's kind of settled into it, then you'd have more opportunity to cut it off if that's what you still wanted. And you might find that kind of seeing other people and knowing other people fixes these things. Some toxic traits can be triggered by the fact that there's no one else you're interacting with. It's just you two. Does that make sense? But yeah. So, what do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. Right, that'll have to do. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.